Well, back in 2011, former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner became the subject of sensational headlines for sexting lewd photos of himself to multiple women. The scandal led to Weiner's highly publicized resignation from Congress as his wife and longtime Hillary Clinton aide Huma Abedin chose to stick by her husband. A couple of years later, Weiner attempted to revive his career with a run for mayor of New York City. But just a couple of months in, the campaign was rocked by yet another sexting scandal. And this time, documentary filmmakers were there to capture the political implosion.
Why are they filming you?
I don't know. Most of the time, I don't know why they're filming.
Are you somebody I'm supposed to know?
It's Republicans wrapping their arms around Republicans rather than doing the right thing on behalf of the heroes.
It was an absolute pleasure to see a Democrat not cowering.
Married to one of Hillary Clinton's closest advisors.
He never backed down from anybody.
A photo of an anonymous man's bulging underwear
was tweeted from Congressman Weiner's account.
Today, I am announcing my resignation from Congress.
The punchline is true about me. I did the dumb thing, but I did a lot of good things too. Running for mayor was the straightest line to clean up the mess that I had made.
This is Anthony Weiner calling. Yes, I'm not Anthony Weiner, the one running for mayor.
Why do you think you deserve the second chance?
I gave you the answer. I'm giving you the answer.
I thought you were thinking about it. I thought you were trying to think.
No, I'm talking words.
What I'm going to try to talk about is the issues facing New York City.
Are more women going to come from? Just a quick optics thing. You will look happy.
Don't push up, Anthony. Show it to me again. Oh, my God.
I can't believe I gave the press the finger.
How many women were there? Can you remember?
What I would like to talk about is housing in the Bronx. Any questions about that?
Why should we trust your judgment?
We're going to try to look like we're holding together as a group.
I am profoundly sorry. And for that, I am profoundly sorry.
Does the wife's absence say anything?
What is wrong with you?
What is he so afraid of?
Your brother said that your father never hugged you.
Do you believe you're suffering from any sort of addiction?
What are you, the referee over there?
We are staying calm and managing the situation.
You're a real scumbag, Anthony.
Takes one to know one, jackass.
Why didn't he just walk?
I think that's brutally honest. There's no chance to win anymore.
I thought it was going pretty well.
It's really apocalyptic right now. But at a certain point, you've got to say, look, I don't quit.
This is the worst. Doing a documentary on my scandal.
Joining me now, the directors of Weiner, Josh Kriegman and Elise Steinberg. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So you worked for Congressman Weiner.
That's right.
And then connected with him on his mayoral race, thinking that you would document his potential rise to that position.
Yeah.
And so you had no idea that the sexting scandal had continued.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, when we started filming, we were just filming at the beginning of his mayoral campaign, and we had no idea what was going to happen. You know, and the whole world was watching, unsure of what was going to unfold as he was getting back into politics after he resigned from Congress. And very quickly, you know, he rose to the top of the polls, and as filmmakers, we thought we were in the middle of a comeback story. And then, of course, new revelations emerged, and things took a different turn.
So what was the first moment you have him on camera after it comes out that he's been doing it? You know, on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, I mean, we were there when he finds out that they were the new sexting revelations. And, you know, you see these celebrity meltdowns all the time and scandals, but you rarely get the opportunity to be in the room. And we were there when it happened. But one of the things that we wanted to show is the humanity behind the headlines, what it means to be at the center of a media firestorm. I mean, Anthony was reduced to a caricature and a punchline. And in our film, you get to see a more nuanced look at him.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is his wife, Huma, who stood by him, and I think her forgiveness made many Americans forgive him too the first time around, which is why I think people were so angry when it happened the second time, not just because they felt like they had been misled, but they felt for her that she had been misled again.
Well, the thing about Huma in the story, and yes, she is a part of the story as well, is, you know, just as much as Anthony was ridiculed and reduced and in many ways turned into a caricature, I think so was she, you know, for standing by him. And so one of the things you get to see in the film is you get to see her as a more complete person, as a wife and as a mother and as a human being going through this obviously very difficult circumstance.
These things are always more complex than we in the media want people. I mean, it's like we just want to ruin people's lives and make a mockery out of them. And they're always more complex, especially when it involves affairs of the heart, you know, I mean, what people do in their private time behind the scenes. But obviously, this became a national scandal and a national story because he was running for office. He was so well known. When you decided to continue the filmmaking, right? Because you had his blessing.
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, it's over, get out, and don't make a movie about this.
Well, I mean, I think this question about why he allowed us to film and to continue to film even after the scandal broke, you know, it is a question that we wondered about ourselves. And it's a question
because he knew it was ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, well, when it happened, and then what, you know, we wondered about it. And it is a question that we pose in the film. And we asked Anthony directly. And he said that he wanted to be viewed as the full person that he was instead of a punchline. And, you know, as we were saying, that was our intention with the film. And it only increased.
But he knew that he was still doing it. That's why it seems reckless to have you guys in.
Well, I think he really recognized that there might be some value to having a documentation of what was going on that went beyond what was going to play out in the headlines. You know, he had been, you know, this experience of being reduced so much to a caricature through the course of his scandal. And I think he thought, you know, opening up his life to another story.
For him, having done this film, do you think he is a good man?
Yeah, you know, I think that he's a lot of things. You know, I've worked for him, and I've seen his talents and his strengths, and also, of course, his flaws. I think it's hard to reduce him to one thing.
Can I tell you something that might surprise the audience? Because we had some epic battles on the air, he and I. I've spent a little time with him and with Huma privately. They're lovely people. They seem like they're in love. They could not be nicer. It's like the juxtaposition between sort of what he does on camera, both on Twitter, you know, and in his battles on cable, and what he seems to be in private is pretty stark.
That's exactly right. And, you know, I didn't know Anthony prior to working on this film, unlike Josh, but one of the striking things that I saw is the difference between the public story and the private story. I mean, you see the jokes against him and his wife, and then you get to see them putting their kid to bed at night.
Right.
And one of the things we wanted to show was that difference.
Yeah, I think a lot of people come to the story with certain preconceptions, and it's surprising what you get to see.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Good luck with it.